Great, wonderful day to all of you out there. Thank you so much for joining me here on this channel. We are studying the lessons of A Course in Miracles, and today we're going to be looking at lesson number 94. I am as God created me. Today we continue with the one idea which brings complete salvation, the one statement which makes all forms of temptation powerless, the one thought which renders the ego silent and entirely undone. You are as God created you. The sounds of this world are still. The sights of this world disappear. And all the thoughts that this world ever held are wiped away forever by this one idea. Here is salvation accomplished. Here is sanity restored. True light is strength, and strength is sinlessness. If you remain as God created you, you must be strong and light must be in you. He who ensured your sinlessness must be the guarantee of strength and light as well. You are as God created you. Darkness cannot obscure the glory of God's Son. You stand in light, strong in the sinlessness in which you were created and in which you will remain throughout eternity. Today, we will again devote the first 5 minutes of each waking hour to the attempt to feel the truth in you. Begin these times of searching with these words: I am as God created me. I am His Son eternally. Now try to reach the Son of God in you. This is the self that never sinned, nor made an image to replace reality. This is the self that never left its home in God to walk the world uncertainly. This is the self that knows no fear, nor could conceive of loss or suffering or death. Nothing is required of you to reach this goal except to lay all idols and self-images aside. Go past the list of attributes, both good and bad, you have ascribed to yourself, and wait in silent expectancy for the truth. God has Himself promised that it will be revealed to all who ask for it. You are asking now. You cannot fail because He cannot fail. If you do not meet the requirement of practicing for the first 5 minutes of every hour, at least remind yourself hourly, I am as God created me. I am His Son eternally. Tell yourself frequently today that you are as God created you, and be sure to respond to anyone who seems to irritate you with these words. You are as God created you. You are His Son eternally. Make every effort to do the hourly exercises today. Each one you do will be a giant stride toward your release and a milestone in learning the thought system which this course sets forth. So I am as God created me. You are as God created you. I think this lesson is such a beautiful affirmation for us. It literally defeats any deprecating thoughts that might be trying to catch hold in your consciousness and grab your attention. You're perfect. You're sinless. You haven't made any mistakes. Today's a brand new, fresh day. Literally, there were millions of timelines out there, and you chose this one, and here you are, and there's no wrong place to be or part of the quantum field to be moving around in your human incarnation. Remember, this course material is restructuring our consciousness, and the way that we can see how things are like settling in and anchoring is the way that we respond to those ego thoughts. Or if we're not able to deal with it internally, the universe blesses us with opportunities to see our projections that we have about ourselves, but that we put out there on others, on other situations, on people, on places, on anything. Because if we can't see it inside, we will see it outside. We have to deal with it anyway. Like, we can't escape from these thoughts in our mind that we're here to correct, but that's the point of it. And we are as God created us, which means we're made of light and joy and peace and happiness. And that is our will here. And to forgive ourselves, to forgive others, to forgive whatever. That's part of this too. And if we want to achieve where we want to go, we all want to go to the same place. We want to have inner peace. We want to be pain-free. We want to have mental clarity and energy. We all want the same things. And the more that we study the lessons and let these lesson titles sink in and ask for help when we need it, or ask for clarity. How does this apply to me? Why don't I believe this? Jesus, guides and teachers, Ra, Yahweh, whoever it is that you want to consult, ask, why can't I believe this? I am as God created me, and therefore it means all these things. Why doesn't that feel right for me? And then wait, something will come that will help you on your journey. So just to give you guys a quick update with my going all the way with my only eating fruit and greens for 6 weeks, I ended that yesterday. I had this desire for some toast, and I had some sprouted bread and some really awesome vegan butter, and just decided I'm gonna have some toast and put some butter on it, and that's gonna be something that I have sometimes. So it's funny that this was the lesson today, because I was feeling a little bit like, man, did I get off the diet? Did I mess anything up or whatever? And of course the answer is no. Of course it's no. There's nothing that I need to fear. I went through a really tremendous experience with my body, learned so much, and have a new respect for its capacity to heal itself. And I also know a lot more about not treating symptoms that come up, and just kind of being with something and drinking some water and just experiencing reality and presence with whatever sensations are in my body. But yeah, having other food that isn't part of the perfect plan is okay with me. And I don't feel like I have to forgive myself either. It's just what I wanted to do, and I did it. So it feels like I'm beginning to really get some energy back and feel more ready to just, take on the world. I do feel so much lighter, so much brighter. And yeah, so it's having a great impact on me. And I'll always know that when there's something wrong in my body, that I will stop eating, which is opposite of what I used to do. I used to think I had to start taking things or filling up with certain kinds of foods or something. And now I know, no, just stop eating and drink water when you feel like there's something going on in the body. The other realization I had this morning around this whole topic is that I am as God created me. And I realize that everything is mind. And yes, it appears that we're all incarnated and living in bodies right now, but our minds are actually running the show. And as I've said before, there's a part of your mind that runs all the systems inside the body that we're purposely not plugged into that channel in our mind, because we would go insane. There's so many processes, so many cells that are going through a life cycle. Even just tracking that alone, trillions of cells. What if you knew when everyone was born and when everyone died? It's way too much information. So the mind does us a favor by kind of carving that off and letting it be run independently of our, dream life that we're having. But healing comes from the mind. So it's actually a part of my mind that told my body all the things that it did during the fasting process. And I want you to hear that too, because not everybody has to go through, a type of thing that I went through necessarily, but the power is actually in your mind to heal your body. However, that power is weakened because we have all these untrue beliefs and all these sort of idols that we worship that are keeping us from getting to focusing our attention on healing our mind and believing that we are actually limitless, powerful light beings that can do anything, that can manifest anything. That's the things that God creates. The ego creates limitless ideas and, a life that can't have purpose unless you are, so much more ready or something like that. It's the ego that limits you and tells you all these things that you have to comply with and you're compelled to do. And, the ego is the one that makes you dogmatic, whether it's about your diet or your lifestyle or your job or your whatever. That's all ego. The God part of us, the Christ mind, that higher level consciousness knows that we're perfect, knows that we're already healed, and whatever we're experiencing can be brought to bear in the field of meditation, in the quantum field, and healed there. So yes, it is fun to explore with your body and try new things. And if you feel like you need to change your habits in order to have a better life, to feel more vitality in your body and have more energy, great, make those changes, develop some discipline. But know that the real healing is always in the mind, and you have the ability and capacity to do that right now and make that part of your practice. So I love you all so much. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you back here again tomorrow.